and good afternoon. And this is from Stephanie and myself, Bob Shelley, Stephanie DeThomas. And we have a lot to talk about today, a lot to bring you up to date with. And we will have two guests with us this afternoon. We're going to have Robert Baldwin. He is the Food and Beverage Director. And we're also going to give you a little bit of a financial update. And we have our CFO, Thomas, going to be here with us as well later on. But I know, Stephanie, you have a lot of things that you've been getting calls on.
Yes.
And different issues going on with technology and with this. So why don't you tell us a little about what you're hearing and what you're doing?
Sure. Well, one of the items with technology is we have our mobile app that we unveiled. And our mobile app, we're actually up to 1,027 users,
Wow.
which is wonderful because when we do a text message, they all receive the text message because they all have enabled notifications. So in total, we've had close to 1,100 people that have logged into the website. So it almost seems like our mobile app is on track to overtake.
Now, what
the
did we
website.
have this time last year?
This time last year, we had about 700.
Okay, so it's picked up nicely.
Definitely has picked up, so we're
Great.
excited about that.
Very good.
Yeah, and all of our social media, that audience has grown exponentially. People that are seeing all of our notices, from these videos to flyers about events. We have a poolside meditation at the spa. So a lot of the events that we have, we promote on our social media channels along with text messaging and the website and all of that.
So the question I get asked, and I'm not the most technical savvy guy, but when we do this as an example, we take this taping, people say, where will they see it? Or how do they access? And why don't you explain the various places they can find us?
Sure.
And also the emails and the text messages and everything.
Sure,
Could you just
sure.
go down a little bit of that for them?
Okay, sure. Whenever we do filming, we do a text message where we provide a link. And the link takes you to our YouTube account. So you could go to our YouTube account straight away, and that lists all the videos that we've done. We also air our videos, the new videos, at the top of the hour on Williams Island TV, which is our in-house TV channel on Atlantic Broadband. So those run, so this would run at the top of the coming hour. They can check all that information there. The past emails and other information, text messages, those events are also on the website themselves. So they could go down and search by date. We have a page with COVID and hurricane resources, so we also put the latest videos and information on that page as well, on the front page of the website.
So when we do this taping now, this will start airing, I'm assuming, sometime tomorrow, correct?
Yes.
And that will be airing on our website as well as Facebook, is it?
Yes,
Well?
as Facebook, our website, and also our in-house TV channel.
Great, okay. And we get what, about 1,000 people that do watch it, don't we?
We do.
So that's why this has become really, through the COVID era, this has become very important that people get up to date with all the information, because what you do is fantastic to get us this information.
Thank you. And they like it because our members, because they get a lot of the questions they'll ask me in advance, and then we answer them here, so that we're able to, keep them in mind and keep them front and center on what we're doing.
One of the things that I was asked, and I want to clarify, originally, I think it was 2 weeks ago, we had Dr. Marks, one of the commissioners of the city, on, and we talked about that we were going to have some kind of potential schooling issue here where we could possibly have students come in and they be tutored, etc. So I want to clarify that the reason that didn't happen on site is because from a cost benefit, the city decided to do almost exactly what we were going to do, but at almost next to nothing. So rather than do it here, where it would have been a little bit more costly, the city gave us a certain number of slots to use for our residents, and by doing that, it gave the kids here the chance to go to that opening, and they hold it at the community center. So basically, I don't know if there's any more openings, because I know school has started, but at this point now, what's wonderful about it is you can go there, your kids can be there, they have professionals, and that's the reason we didn't do it here. However, we still do have the after-school care, and we do have, Carrie has arranged, that educationally we have tutoring, we have extracurricular activities, we have some physical activities going on here on the island. So by doing that, it really gives the kids an opportunity, after being in front of a computer all day, they can come here and have fun or get extra help, whatever they need and such. But that is what's happening. So that was the reason we didn't have it here, because the city decided to do it as a favor to the community and offer it at a very reasonable price. And I don't know now how it's going, but I do know it started out very well, and I think they had 40 or 50 kids to begin with.
Yeah, and that was on Monday of this week.
Yes. Tell us a little about you have a little contest going.
Yes, we do. We started a trivia contest about Williams Island, and it's on our weekly email that we send out, and it's all the way at the bottom of the email. So for those that are smart enough, they read all the way to the very end, we have a different trivia question. So we're in our 4th week this week for trivia questions, and we get, believe it or not, about 150 to 200 responses every Monday, and it gets very competitive. People are, making sure that they get the winning entry, and they keep asking, "Did I win? Did I win?" So, for example, the last question was, "When did the sculpture park open?" And that opened February 2014. And Barbara Berger in the 2000 building had the winning. She even knew the exact date when the event happened. So she won our little goodie package, and they get little goodie bags that explain everything that we're doing. But the 2000 building has had quite a few winners. The 2000 building.
There's something going on with the 2000 building.
And 2800 as well. So.
Well, I have to tell you actually a very interesting story about that groundbreaking. When we had it here, at that time, the mayor of the city was Susan Gottlieb. And she did the ribbon cutting, and she gave a beautiful speech, and she talked about what this art was that Marty Margulies was very generous enough to lend us. He was a developer of Bellini on the island. And at that, she said, there's a couple of open seats coming up on the commission. Why don't you run for commission? And that's actually how it happened. Purely at that moment, I happened to be walking by. I knew Susan. And but that was a beautiful evening.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, wow.
So that's how that all began.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
So tell us all about the technology that you have going on.
Technology, we're working with the technology providers so that everything the members see, for example, the menus, they can access the menus on their mobile app along with the website. And Robert's going to talk a little bit about that in a bit, but they can view all the information if we have a new weekly feature, if we have a special for that Saturday, everything that's there, they can pull up on the club calendar, on the mobile app, and along on the website as well.
Great. Yeah, and Robert, we'll talk about Robert's because, of course, now you can make reservations ahead of time.
Yes.
It's much easier to do, and we really need that to be done because it gives us an ability to count and see how many tables we can, because obviously things are very limited at this point.
Yes.
And how are the realtors doing?
The realtors are doing really well. We've had a lot of activity from realtors coming to this area. A lot of people from New York and the northern states with the tax benefits of living here in Florida. A lot of people are deciding to make Florida their full-time residence. So that's been a bit interesting.
That is interesting, yeah. It's the reverse.
It's exactly the reverse. So we've, Joy and myself, Joy in membership, and then she's provided them with information about what all the amenity-rich items that are here, such as the pool, the restaurants, the tennis. So when a pandemic like COVID happens, they have everything right here in their community. They don't have to leave.
That's great.
Yeah.
And it says here something about we won 2 awards in the nature.
We did, and that's also a benefit for a lot of people because they see Aventura as a city, but we do have 84 acres, so we have our own tropical paradise here, and one of the things we have is the largest rookery, that was another question, of yellow-crowned night herons on the island in all of Dade County. So we've teamed up, we're a community partner with Pelican Harbor Seabird Station. So we take any of the injured birds down to Pelican Harbor. So we've won our second Go Green Award from the city of Aventura. We won our second one this year. And we were just contacted yesterday by Pelican Harbor that the Smithsonian Channel, the cable national channel, wants to come and do a special on urban wildlife in Miami. And they find it amazing that we have this whole nesting zone right here at our posh, Williams Island, and we have our own version of snowbirds that come down, our yellow-crowned night herons. So we're going to walk with them and do a tour.
And we saved one or two, a few of them. You've been great at it, though.
Thank you. We have you on the website actually showing where you released it back.
Well, I did. I was walking one night, and there was a poor little bird on the street, and we picked him up and put him on the side, and we sent him down to Pelican Harbor. Yeah. But I don't know if you all know that we have a big bird cage.
Yes.
On 31st Avenue, which is our street adjacent to our entrance, that Stephanie has put up, and she's our bird sanctuary lady, because what she does is any birds that get injured, we put them over there, we take care of them, and then she arranges for them to go down to the Pelican Harbor to be taken care of, and we make a very small donation every year just to help them get repaired
Yes.
and fixed.
Yes, and
that's
it's
beautiful.
amazing. You know, our members have been great. You've been wonderful with it. And our population of the birds and the nests is actually 3 times this year what it was in years past. So,
And where do they go when they're done here?
apparently, it's kind of the similar concept with sea turtles, where they go out up north, other places, and then they come back every year and nest in those
Amazing.
same trees.
Isn't that amazing? And I know you've had some questions, and we're going to talk about it with Thomas in a little bit, but some of the questions you've had were on the spending and the minimums, et cetera.
Yeah, we have some residents that live up in, for example, Canada or in Brazil that cannot physically get here due to travel restrictions, and some that were in New York that couldn't get here. So they're asking about minimum spending because they haven't been here and been able to
Okay.
do minimum spending.
All right, well, we'll be addressing that shortly.
Okay.
We won't have an answer tonight for you, but that is something that over the next few months, the board will decide and make a decision as to what we are going to do. But we still have audits to go through and year-end statements to go through. And so at that point, but we will discuss it tonight and explain what we are doing, hopefully to get that resolved. A couple of things I just want to mention. We have our next board meeting coming up the 15th of this month. And at that meeting, we will be discussing and showing some renderings of the new deli concept that we're opening. And we'll be talking about it a little bit further with Robert, but that opens up hopefully we'll be opening that sometime in November for the season. And that's going to be very exciting because it's official. We're going to open it, and we're putting the design finishing touches on it. But the the September meeting will be showing some of those drawings and those renderings. And due to the fact that it's a Zoom meeting, what we will do is we'll send a package to all of the buildings. So if you want to go see them in person, you can go down to your building manager's office, and they'll have all the decorations there for you to see it, all the books, the paraphernalia, and the renderings.
Wonderful.
The November board meeting is also very important, which is just right around the corner, because that's the one that we will showing a full presentation of the new Island Club concept with the pool area, and we have renderings for that. We have an actual virtual flyover tour that's going to be shown of it.
Wow.
So we will have a full presentation by the architects, the renderers, and the management to show you what we will be anticipating doing, subject to the board's approval, the island's approval. But if you all remember, many, many months ago, we did a number of surveys to see what the island itself wanted. This was what they did want. And the 3 things that were really primary to them, we're addressing. One is the front gate. One of them is going to be the grab-and-go deli concept. And the third thing will be redoing this whole area over here. And if you recall, many years ago when we did the bank's financing arrangements, part of that financing included the financing necessary to do all of these. So none of these things we'll be talking about or showing you will have anything to do with assessments needed. That's already built into the finances of the island. But it's very exciting, so it's important you go to this next meeting, this 15th, and the November meeting, and see what's going on, because there's really an amazing bunch of stuff going on. And in a few minutes, you're going to hear from Robert, our Food and Beverage Director, a little bit more specifically as to all the great ideas we have for the new deli that's going to be opening. But I think hearing you with your contests, and I haven't gotten to discuss this with the board yet,
Okay.
maybe you should run a contest to name it.
Sure. I think that would be a
And
good
we'll
idea.
discuss it with the board, but I think that might be a fun thing.
Yeah.
So, and whoever wins will come on, and we'll give them a mug or whatever it is,
Yeah.
but I think that might be a lot of fun.
I think that would be great. We've
So-
got a lot of creative people on
That's
the island.
right. I mean, I think that's a great idea, and I know Robert's going to be here, and I'm sure
Yeah.
he'll be very excited about it, because and then we'll set up judges.
Okay.
How's that? We'll put a judges panel committee together.
Okay. Kind of like America's Got Talent. Williams Island's
That's right.
Got Talent.
Williams Island has talent.
Yeah.
The other thing I want to remind you of, we have the holidays coming at Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, and we wish you all, obviously, a healthy and happy New Year. But in addition to that, again, we'll be talking to Robert, but we will be having Erev Rosh Hashanah dinner and Saturday night, And then we will be having a breakfast, and Robert will explain how that's going to work. But in spite of COVID, he's been able to work out a program, so we will have the Erev Rosh Hashanah and Rosh Hashanah dinner, and we will have breakfast here on the island as well. In addition to that, because of the fact that all of the synagogues are being done virtually right now, or most of them are, the blowing of the shofar obviously is, for those of you that know or don't know, is a very important aspect of the holiday. And because in most cases you can't get to the synagogue and they normally blow it at certain times during the services, a number of the synagogues in the city have requested that they come to the island and do it on the island at certain specific times. So I want to let you know that Williams Island Synagogue will be doing it on the island, and theirs will be on the Sunday on the tennis courts here of Med Village, and we'll be sending you out more specific not invitations, but information on this. Beth Torah, Adath Yesharon, will be doing it on the island, and Aventura Turnberry Jewish Center will be doing it on the island. So all three of the synagogues in our community have requested coming to the island to bring the service and bring the shofar blowing to our residents. So Stephanie, you'll be sending out that notice explaining exactly the time, where it will be. Obviously, it's socially distanced, and it will be a very quick 10-15 minute shofar blowing and maybe a few words, maybe a short prayer, but they felt it was very important to bring this to the island and to the residents, and seeing as we have it. But they're not only doing here, this is being done throughout the entire city.
It's wonderful.
So they will be doing it at the Sofa High School land, they're going to be doing it at the Waterways, they're going to be doing it at the Point, they're going to be doing it at Porta Vida, and they felt we're bringing the spirituality to the people because they can't come to the traditional service this year. Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to bring you up to date on all of that. There will be some notices coming out about CNE events and some, I believe it's some foreign film festival things coming up. And that will also be coming out in the next few weeks, or actually the next few days, excuse me. So there's a lot happening here, and I think what's amazing about this is hopefully things are getting better now. People are seeming to be much more careful walking. They're wearing their masks, and we've been able to now open up the restaurants. But what's most important about all of this is things are getting better. It's closer to the end than the beginning, obviously. We can't let up what we're doing. We can't stop being diligent. We can't stop being careful, because the last thing we want is this to come back again to us. But I only can say thank you to our staff again, and I say it every week because it just amazes me. We have not at Williams Island missed a beat on every single thing going on, whether it be the spa, tennis, the restaurant, food and beverage, deliveries, security, building management, the board of directors operating. It's just been amazing. Yeah. And again, I thank you for all of that. And now we have some very special guests to talk to. So enough from me. We'll end this section, and we're going to have Robert talk to us now.
Sounds great.